Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The name your price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
You have smoked yourself retarded.
here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
It's 291. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
I'm high.
We are high. We are back. We have our bag full of drugs. We are ready.
What's more? It's a container. Really, it's plastic.
It's not very full now either.
Yeah. Yeah, it was full when we started recording. Now
There was a story that I meant to get to last week, and I can't pass this one up because there actually was a dude who got pulled over in guess what state?
Florida.
You nailed it. With a bag full of drugs that was labeled a bag full of drugs. Like, quite literally, I did not believe it until I saw it for myself.
So many questions. First of all, if you packed this bag, why did you label it?
And it was literally packed with drugs. It was, inside of it was GHB, which is this 2000?
Right.
We're still 20 years later, and we're still doing the freaky wet weightlifter drug that tastes like somebody sweated out their armpit. Cocaine, MDMA, and fentanyl as well in this bag.
Jesus. This guy would have been the man if he went out to a rural community.
They show
He
a
could have
picture
fucked
of
all
it,
the bitches.
and yeah, it's got like it's got that big fat like 70s type font on it. Very fun.
No,
Yeah,
like
I'd
from like a Fillmore poster.
I'm thinking like this was at oh shit. What's the name of that store where people who actually have a lot of money go to buy stuff for their first dorm room? And
IKEA?
No, that's where everybody goes. People who actually have money go to this place.
Urban Outfitters.
Yes. Urban Outfitters. That's exactly what I was thinking of. This is like an Urban Outfitters like gag gift that they gave to say, oh, you're going away to college.
A bag full of
Make
drugs.
sure here's something to keep, that way people won't find your drugs. You got to keep them in this. And this dude just ran with it. He's like, well, yeah, what else are you going to put in it?
Wow,
Drug
it says.
bag.
Yeah,
I'm not lying.
It says no.
It's not even small. The print takes up the
I
entire
think
bag.
you're right. This is like from Spencer's or something like that.
Given scale with the little drug packets next to it, I would say this would be, if this were a purse, it would be a clutch. It would be a large clutch, possibly, but it might have a strap on it.
Oh, wait a minute.
So
Is this from like
but it's entire,
whimsical baby boomer site?
It's entire.
Like it's for like their medications?
No, this is Fox News.
No, but I'm saying like it's another place you could buy this thing.
Wait, that is a whimsical baby boomer site, isn't it?
Touche. But no, like how the baby boomers are getting older and now they're carrying I go see my mom on Sundays and her
Yeah.
Sunday routine is loading up her fucking pill boxes for the week. So like, is this like?
Right, maybe it was ironic choice for them. They're
Like if you were in your early 20s in the late 60s,
it's supposed to be about prescription drugs.
yeah, you are now in your early 70s right now. Is this like from like, oh, I'm going to be cool carrying around all my medications, but really
Well, no, but there were actual
It's for my
illegal substances. in there.
diabetes? I'm just saying this maybe
Is that what
somewhere
it's
else you can
designed
buy
for?
this.
Right. So
Sorry.
that's what I'm saying. It's a gag
I
gift,
smoked a lot of weed and I'm sidetracking
right?
the story.
It's the type of thing you might carry around if you definitely didn't have any drugs on you. But yeah, in Santa Rosa County, they busted this guy. Now they showed in their picture where I guess these were found by two canine units, which they joked in classic, hilarious police fashion that apparently their dogs can read.
Also, the people
Right.
with them.
Yeah. Or hear me out. Maybe you didn't need the dogs for this one.
Right?
I'm sure the dogs did their job and they did it properly, but if you were canine-less, you would have been fine.
Meth, GHB, cocaine, MDMA, and fentanyl. Again.
Yeah.
Head to the sticks. You'd make
And
a lot of money.
That's a fairly, it's not like a heavy amount, but enough to,
Left to part. This guy's going to a hell of a party.
it's that guy's either throwing one hell of a party or he's selling.
Trying to make his mortgage
I
payment.
doubt that. I mean, if you're like, I'm going to be out for the day, so I better make sure I bring all my drugs with me. And it's meth, GHB, cocaine, and MDMA, and fentanyl.
I mean, you are, yeah. You're.
I don't think you're coming home.
Or if you are, it's going to be like a week. Where are you going? I don't know. I'll be back when this is gone.
Yeah.
Show up 2 weeks later with no teeth, half your clothes.
I don't know. I think you wouldn't last 2 weeks.
We saying it's a month's worth of drugs. You don't have any weed? There's no weed?
Yeah. No.
Oh, well, Santa Rosa. No, it's Florida, right?
Yeah.
I say Santa Rosa, I think California. Weed's legal there, but no. Florida. No weed.
I'm a penny pincher, right? I could make that last. I could go on vacation with those drugs. I'd sell the fentanyl. I don't fuck with that shit. But yeah. I mean, honestly, a little meth ain't gonna kill you. It's
That's
not.
so.
It's not. If you've never had a problem with meth,
Little dabble do ya?
I'm not recommending it per se. I'm just saying if you don't have prior history with addiction and you do a couple bumps of meth, you may or may not have a good time, but you're not automatically going to wake up tomorrow and be like, let's get some more and start scratching at your neck.
More meth.
GHB, I mean, I think GHB and MDMA, your biggest problem there is probably dehydration. Well, first of all, if you're drinking and taking GHB, that's like a hat on a hat. But also, it'll dehydrate you. But like a little cap full of GHB is like taking 5 shots in a row.
Oh, wow.
And then you don't have a hangover. Again, I wouldn't recommend it because these are illegal drugs.
But what you're saying
And-
is, you've heard this is how it goes
But they're not
down.
going to kill you. A little cocaine isn't going to kill you.
It's true.
A little MDMA, that's fine.
Had a little cocaine once.
I think that's a bit
I'm not
much.
dead.
I wouldn't do it all at once. But the fentanyl, man, I don't know about that shit.
Well, no, that's the shit. Yeah, you can get on your fingertips and die.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Your biggest risk of dying on probably any of the rest of this shit is probably dehydration or just doing something stupid, possibly.
Maybe cardiac arrest.
Yeah, if you did them all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Florida man was just on vacation.
And
You know?
he's bringing all his drug supply for vacation.
Well, I mean, they're going to hit him with.
Hey, man, we're going to Tampa for 2 weeks.
They're going to hit him with dealing with the different types of drugs that he has on
Yeah.
him, for sure.
Or maybe
But-
he was just
but you
going
can't-
out Hunter Thompson style.
You cannot prove that somebody was selling just based on the quantity or type of drugs you need to catch them in the act. That I believe that purely, that if you're going to have a law that says that just selling illegal drugs is wrong and worse than doing illegal drugs, that it's a more severe punishment that trafficking is, then you have to catch the person trafficking. I mean, how else does it work with anything else?
When the
Yeah.
drugs begin to take hold.
Maybe it was,
Is this them?
yeah. This is the one dude, though. He'd have to imagine his lawyer. I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, which is not so bad. You know,
I've never seen that movie. Shocking, I know.
It's campy,
Will roar all around us.
but it's pretty fun.
What look like huge
And I was trying to figure out if, like, one of the first characters that gets turned into a vampire in it looks like, what's his name? Benicio del Toro. But I can't
Oh.
figure out if it's him or not, or if I'm just an idiot.
Never mind.
Because Benicio del Toro is, like, weird. He always looks different, right?
We know
He's one of
IMDb's
the-
a thing, right?
Well, yeah, I know. I could have looked it up. but I still haven't. It was last night, and it just made me think of it now.
I think he's about to get to the list. This rivals Florida man's list.
Well, maybe it's Michigan man that they caught in Florida. So I was wondering, like, what he's going to do. There's a man in Michigan who won $1.3 million, and they had the best headline on this, though.
So this, like, look at this suitcase.
Yeah.
Would they get distribution?
Oh, I'm sure. Right, and they'd be wrong. Right?
These guys are just going to party.
I don't
in
remember
Vegas.
Hunter Thompson selling any of his drugs.
No,
He's like, why would I do that?
They just went to party in Vegas, man.
Then what am I going to do?
Maybe Florida man, like I said, we're going to Tampa for 2 weeks, man. This is my supply.
Like, I don't judge you by how many drugs you do. I've been doing them a long time,
Yeah.
and it takes a lot. So,
It takes a lot to get me off, man. I'm 50.
matter of fact, if somebody broke in, took my drugs, and left money, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I'd have to go find more.
Yeah, I want the drugs. I brought them for a reason.
There's
Officer.
a man in Michigan who won $1.3 million, and the best headline on WXYZ, Wayne County man plans to send his wife on trip after winning $1.3 million lottery jackpot. I don't know how else you phrase it, but it's like
outta
a
here.
punchline, right?
Yeah. I'm sending her away.
Yeah, it's the joke. The man comes home and says, honey, I won the lottery. Pack your bags. And she goes, oh, my God, where are we going? And he's like, I don't give a fuck. You just got to get out of here.
Yeah. And what do you mean we? We aren't going anywhere.
Yeah. My secretary's moving in. He was a 59-year-old Wayne County man who won $1.3 million in the Double Wild Time Progressive Fast Cash game. Or, I'm sorry, Doubler Wild Time. Can you name these things so they don't sound like they're a total scam?
Right.
The winning ticket bought at Reland Market, Allen Road in Woodhaven. Hey, that's near my old hood.
Oh.
It's down
Selling
river.
winning lotto tickets downriver.
I'm in the right spot. I'm in the hot zone. I should start buying. That's a sign. It's a sign. Yesterday was 22220, so that was a sign too. I should have bought. Like, yeah, everything's a sign to buy a fucking lottery ticket when you have $1 burning a hole in your pocket and you want to buy a lottery ticket. But whatever. I mean, everybody gambles in their own way. Everybody has their thing that frivolously, pitter money away. You know, mine's chocolate. Right? I'm going to scoff at somebody who buys $1 a day worth of lottery tickets, and I eat $1 a day worth of chocolate or or cookie or something. Well, yeah, when I break it down, probably. You buy a candy bar. I bought a candy bar on the way out here. Bought a Snickers bar. There's my buck. Right?
Nice.
How am I any better or worse than somebody who wants to, instead of buying that candy bar, just give it to the state and say, here, spend half of this on schools and I guess piss the rest into advertising for this scam you've got going and give me some shred of hope.
We get it. It's
tonight
for the schools.
that I'm
Nudge,
actually
nudge.
going to get out of this hovel.
Wink, wink. So he won it and said, bitch, you gotta go.
Well, he says, where is it? Yeah, he says his son recommended he play it. He doesn't normally play it. He usually plays another lottery. Here it is. I went home and I told my wife I was sending her on a trip. And she just laughed because she thought I was joking. Then I showed her the ticket and told her she could take the trip she'd been hoping to go on with our church. She was speechless.
Oh, okay. So
it's indeed there was a trip.
I like it better when he was a dick.
Right.
When he was just hey, I won the lottery. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes. So in addition to paying for his wife's trip, he also plans to share his winnings with his family and then invest the remainder in his retirement account. I hope he does that, and that's a smart move. I mean, $1.3 million is a nice amount to win, obviously. Who wouldn't like that kind of money? But it is also in that zone of would just totally ruin most people as well.
Yeah.
At least most people who play the lottery. That, from what we've seen, you win just enough to A, stand out, B, think that you're infinitely rich and you just piss it away and it's gone before you even know it. Mm-hmm. Or just fuck your life up in some way that money isn't going to solve anyway. So I wish this person
No.
given it like if I'm in my like late 50s, approaching my 60s, and I'm winning that type of money, I'm giving most of that to my kids. Are you fucking kidding me? Because like what goes around comes
Is there
around.
a picture of this person?
I'm looking at another 20 years, hopefully, where I'm like going, hey, my legs don't work no more. What are we going to do here?
Right. Is there a picture of this person?
Yeah, by the way, I need somebody to change my diaper every once in a while.
Yeah, remember when I won the lottery?
Remember when I won the lottery? Wasn't that a great time? Yeah. So I'm not saying you have to do it, but somebody's going to have to pay for it because this is $6,000 a fucking month.
No shit.
So, I'm sorry. What did you ask?
Is there a picture of this person?
Is there a picture of the person? No.
Ah,
They don't publish it, and rightfully so.
because I'm conflicted. Is this to a white guy or a black guy? Because
No.
the part at the end says white guy. I'm going to take it and invest it and all that. But church trip.
Well, that's the thing.
That's the wild card. That's the wild card in this whole thing.
They don't-
I'm sending my wife on a church trip.
They don't refer to this man,
man.
by name, and they don't do that on purpose.
Oh,
It's
that's
a lottery.
true, yeah.
The guy won.
Yeah, you're allowed anonymity.
Yeah, he won $1.3 million. They got their quote from him, but they don't ever refer to him as anything other than winning Wayne County man.
It's got that God variable in there.
What's the God variable?
That's the church trip. That's not necessarily.
Why are you trying to figure out what color this
I'm saying that's
person
not.
is?
I'm saying sending your wife on a church trip is not necessarily a move dedicated to only whitey.
No, I could go either way.
Yes, but I'm saying the last half makes me go a white guy. I don't know. I'm just saying we're from Detroit.
I don't know.
It's a mix.
Well, look-
it's from our area, so it's a mixed bag.
I'll have to admit, they said he's from Woodhaven. I just assumed.
Oh, see, you're from
There's-
downriver. You got the downriver.
I mean, I'm sure shit's changed, but like when I was in high school, I went to Riverview, which is like adjacent, and I think we had 2 black students.
Stick around here if you go like they're from Shelby Township. All right, I get it.
So yeah, I mean, this was a headline that sounded like it was about a bad marriage. It actually sounds like the guy's doing all right.
Yeah, now it turns out he's a decent human being.
He's like Harrison Ford. He's got the secret to success when it comes to marriage. You know, he's doing that Call of the Wild movie. Have you seen the previews for this?
Was it the movie about the idiot that died in Alaska?
Is that what happened to him? I can't remember. I read it back in the day.
Yeah, it was some hippie who thought he was going to go live off the land up in Alaska, and he didn't make it like 2 weeks.
No, the one about the dog. Didn't you read it in high school? Call of the Wild, about the dog who like finds the wolf pack. The dog gets lost.
It sounds like something I pretended I read and got a C on.
It's
Is it Jack London or something?
yes, yeah. He did White Fang was the other big one.
It sounds like something I faked my way through and got a C
About a
on the
wolf.
final paper.
I don't know.
Sounds
He was the
familiar.
guy who wrote about dogs and wolves.
Oh no,
But
I
yeah.
think that the hippie kid's Into the Wild or something like that.
No, this is the story about, Call of the Wild is told from the perspective of the dog, but that might be a stretch. I mean, generally, animals do all right in movies, but not so much the ones where our perspective is the animal, unless you go full animated.
Well, you didn't like that movie where Michael J. Fox
I'm not making
was
any
the
judgment.
voice?
I'm just saying, like,
what movie was
mostly.
that? Wasn't Milo and Otis? Wasn't it like
Yeah.
Incredible Journey? Like Michael J. Fox was like the voice of a dog
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, voicing animals in that fashion it doesn't really seem to work very well, does it? Like, I don't know. What movies were successful to make them think that like that was a thing that would sell?
It was late 80s. It's
Hey,
Michael
guys.
J. Fox. It meant people were going to go see
You
it.
know, like Teen Wolf, right? Teen Wolf, he's playing a dog. People get it.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Pro Extra is the Home Depot's free loyalty program built for pros. Members earn perks just for shopping, like new Pro Extra dollars or tool rental perks. Get exclusive benefits every day that save time and money. And here's an extra, $20 off your next in-store purchase of $200 or more, just for signing up. Want to save? Join Pro Extra, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Visit the Pro Desk in-store at homedepot.com/Pro Extra for details.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
No, why were we talking? Oh, because Harrison Ford. He's been married to Callista Flockhart for...
To Ally McBeal?
Yeah, he's been married to her for almost 20 years now. And they asked him about it because he's doing his rounds for The Call of the Wild. And he said that the secret to their long-lasting relationship, which in Hollywood terms, 18 years, yeah, that's that's forever. He said, don't talk, nod your head. That's his advice.
So a lot of yes, dear going on in his house.
Yes.
This is not an orchestra. This is some asshole with a keyboard. Fuck off. It says this is not an orchestra. There's some asshole in his keyboard.
No, this is like a Korg Triton. This isn't even a modern. Yeah. It probably is a Korg, actually. They have decent horns.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Where does this exist?
Google
this is
Music.
in your Google Music?
I just Googled Raiders of the Lost Ark theme.
Wow, you'd think that would... I mean, this is a John Williams soundtrack. Like, do you think they would have, like, the real
They do.
orchestral... They sound like, what the fuck is his name? Sound like Christopher Walken when I try and pronounce the word orchestral. Orchestral.
Oh my god, I can't take it anymore.
Like, why does this exist? Was there a TV movie, Indiana Jones, that...
Oh,
there. That's what real horns sound like.
Now we're dodging arrows.
Yeah.
There's a boulder behind us.
No. So, well, that was it, though. I'm glad you found it.
Oh, that's it. Just nod.
Yep.
It's all Indy. It's Indy's marriage advice. Just nod and smile. Also, look like Harrison Ford. That's his also
that
secret
helps.
to
Wait.
being married
Yeah. Be, like, super handsome.
and rich.
And filthy rich helps. Actually, if you're filthy rich, you really don't even have to be super handsome. So let's just say be really rich and do what she says and give her shit and money. Yeah, that's basically it.
And look like Harrison Ford again.
Yeah.
I want to put that one.
Right.
Number one is look like Harrison
And
Ford.
And when she gets mad, I just give her the oh shit face, you know,
And-
where I kind of
and the Amex Black Card, and it fixes everything.
you know the face I'm talking about when Air Force One is in the middle of blowing up and he's
yeah.
like about to jump off the plane. It's
Yeah.
the Harrison Ford oh shit face. It works. It works on everyone.
Oh, didn't you have it in?
I use it on the Paperboy, like hey,
In The Fugitive when he
you owe
jumped
me
off
for
the
3
waterfall?
months worth of the Times already. He's just like I don't know where all it
Oh,
is.
is this from 20 years ago where you still get a
I
newspaper?
can't find my pants. He's old. He gets the newspaper. Look,
It's true.
I don't know jack shit about Harrison Ford ultimately, but I know he still gets the newspaper. All right? Because the image of Harrison Ford sitting on his deck next to his pool with an iPad just breaks my brain.
Probably does that.
Nah.
Probably tech savvy man.
He gets the paper.
It's
Gets
2020.
the paper.
He's in the entertainment industry. Sure, he's been given a free iPad or two and a gift bag.
One thing I'm definitely sure that he doesn't do is ride with a companion animal, much less a horse.
Oh boy.
But what is his name? Frecklebutt Fred.
Is this the emotional support
This is
mini
the-
horse?
Yes. And this is a Michigander, a Michiganian,
damn it.
Michiganander. Ronica, I do not know how to pronounce, you have too many vowels in your name. Ronica F. of Croton. I don't know where Croton is.
Croton.
Croton, Michigan, Croton, and her dual certified horse. It made its first official trip, the miniature horse.
Croton is a township known as the party capital of mid-Michigan. That's what it says. in the Google
Oh my God.
description of this.
We're being pranked. This whole miniature horse companion animal is a frat prank. Damn you, Delta House! You're on double secret probation.
It's possible.
Wait, Mid-Michigan has a party town, and it's Croton.
It's the party capital.
The
of
party
Mid-Michigan.
capital. That's kind of like that. Well,
This place looks.
that's more on the west side, isn't it?
It looks like it's about half or a little bit 2/3 of the
Let's,
way between Big Rapids and Grand Rapids.
Right. For those at home playing,
Oh yeah, with your
if you
right hand.
hold up your right hand so it's facing you, and just below the crevice where your pinky and your ring finger come together,
Yeah, so right about there.
right around where you have that line. Like follow that line down to where it intersects with the imaginary line coming off that crevice. I'm over explaining this, and and that's
bit.
where Croton would be,
It's the party capital of
Right.
Mid-Michigan.
or nowhere, and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
I'll also accept that as an answer. Absolutely fucking nowhere. Well, they're going to actually ban anything but a dog as a
Well, it's because of this person.
Yeah. I would have some respect if this was like a Church of Satan type situation where they were just making a point. I would hope that she doesn't really need a horse to fly.
Is this just someone being an asshole?
No.
Like just doing it so they can do it? Or because she doesn't want to
Well, would you call the Church of Satan assholes?
doing something that they just to do it?
They don't truly believe in Satan, right? And they're open
Some
about
of them
it.
don't.
No, they don't. No, look, they
just
may
contrarians?
They may have
Professional
people
contrarians?
No, they may have people. We've been over this. But they may have people that are Satanists that believe in Satan, but the Church of Satan as an organization does not believe in Satan.
If I was on a plane, I would be so pissed if I
But-
ran into this.
But they believe in having the same rights as everybody else, and if we're going to give certain rights to people who believe in one God, then why not another? And in that same way, if we're going to say that it's okay to have random pets as comfort animals, then why not push that to its logical conclusion so that you can then break open the system, hopefully, and hopefully fix it. Whatever that means. If it means full on, we're going to accept that any animal can travel as a companion. I mean, the person who flew bought 2 first-class seats, and it didn't take up more room than that. So it's not like she got a deal for bringing the horse. It cost her a lot more, and probably could have flown coach if she didn't have the horse. So yeah, I mean, if we all decide collectively as a nation we're okay with any kind of animal on the plane, then let's go with it. That's fine. We'll work around it. We'll get used to it. We used to be able to smoke on these things. We all learned to work around it.
That
Right?
horse is gonna shit.
As soon as they banned smoking on airplanes, everyone quit fucking smoking. Yet they learned how to go on a 5 fucking hour flight and not freak out because they didn't have a cigarette. We all learned to deal with it. We learned to deal with whatever. Or let's not. Like, I'm still voting for no animals on the plane.
Yeah.
But if I'm overruled, I'm overruled. But let's just make a rule. You know?
That horse had to shit at some point.
Let's not have everything judged like it's fucking Teen Wolf basketball competition, and the judge just goes, "There's nothing in the rule books that says that Teen Wolf can't play basketball." Let's not Air Bud our legislation, right? Like, if this is not, I wouldn't even call it performance art. This is political artistry. This is actually trying to expose and hopefully, whether they intend to or not, the result is they're exposing and trying to fix the loopholes that we have in this system. Let's make some hard and fast rules about who and what we want on an airplane. We do it all the time. We have very specific and direct rules about how much of a liquid can be in one container, right? And yet we let them keep pushing it with the animals. He's a cute little horse. He's a miniature horse that is all white body with a brown head.
I'm a tiny horse.
Yeah, he's cool. He's chilling. He looks all right. The picture they use in the lead of the article, though, has him with what looks like Looks like they took a blue bed sheet and cut out eye holes so he could be a ghost for Halloween. And they draped that over him. And his hair's sticking out all crazy. Yeah, there he is. He looks like a freak.
Yeah.
Like is he in the Mamenschanz? And he also has a some kind of contraption, like I was gonna say a saddle, but you wouldn't ride this horse.
It's like a little horse bondage outfit. Needs a little red ball in his mouth.
He's a horse gimp. He's the gimp pony.
You know why she has him though? Did you read why she has him?
What did it?
Yes.
Because she likes miniature horses, right?
She suffers from Crohn's disease.
Yeah. So
she needs a horse. We're Michigan. Most people use weed.
If we have policy that says that it's okay, like if you have a condition that stresses you out for whatever reason during your air travel, then we want to work with you and we'll make certain allowances. I'm okay with that.
I have an invisible autoimmune disease.
But
not all disabilities can be. You're not disabled. You shit a lot. That's not a disability. I'm sure someone in a wheelchair would be.
There's a lot of different levels to Crohn's disease. And it ranges from being an inconvenience and you have to restrict a diet or you have to actually increase your diet but only eat certain foods, to actually having to bypass your fucking stomach and shoot protein into it from a tube that hangs out of the middle of your body and never shitting solid for the rest of your life. And people who have it, I don't know
why she needs to bring a horse on a plane.
No, I mean, I don't know it. Look, she has I can understand how you get from having a debilitating disease to having that stress you out when you have to fly. I just don't agree with the methods. Like, if that's the only way she can fly, then she might have to be one of the few people who just cannot fly, who has to fucking ride Amtrak. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Take the bus. Or drive.
Or take a boat if you have to leave the continent. She's operating within the rules, though. I'm not mad at her.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
She's got a condition. She wants to fly. She found out a way that she can fly. That's great. That's what.
Sure. Someone in a wheelchair might.
And if I was on that flight,
she has a disability.
I'd be like, "Can I pet your pony that has "Do Not Pet" written all over it?"
Yeah.
I know it says "Do Not Pet," but can I just give him one? He's so good, I bet. Just let me feed him a carrot.
That horse just shit somewhere.
Well, that is what most people think of. Like, what if he shits up the cat? Like, yeah,
it is a horse.
Yeah, and what if the dude next to you shits up the cabin? Right? Because, like, you see what crazy, stupid
take
people
him away
do.
when you get off the plane, hopefully.
Right. We'll work with it. Look, crazy shit happens. You might be sat down
Trust me, every time I
next
get
to
on
the
a
guy
plane
who
with a dog,
farts
I'm like,
through
what
an
happens when
entire...
that dog shits? Especially if it's not a purse dog.
And it usually
That dog can
doesn't,
shit-
but sometimes it does.
That dog can shit in your purse all you want, all it
Right.
wants, for all I care. But it's when the dogs that are roaming around. Like, I'll get on flights and someone's got like a fucking Labrador.
Right? But
That dog's gonna shit at some
and
point.
sometimes you get on a flight and there's somebody who gets sick. It's their first flight, right?
they
but most of the
puke in the
people that you
bag.
fly with, they don't.
Can't-
Yes, right. We have solutions. We
You can't
fix
teach
it.
a dog to shit in a bag. That'd be awesome. You taught a dog to shit in a bag?
There's very few stories of a dog or an animal shitting up a plane so bad that they had to reroute, that they actually had to land or switch planes.
It's
or anything
happened though.
like that. Sure, but what's happened more is that somebody got drunk and out of control.
It's true.
And puked all over the place.
Or tried to open the door to get out.
Or did some dumb shit. Like,
Wasn't like a couple years ago, Michael Rappaport tried to stop somebody that was trying to open
I'm
the door.
not full on for it, but if your argument is going to be like, let's not have dogs on the plane because they might do dumb and gross shit, like, people do dumb and gross shit.
Yeah, they're paying to be there.
So are the dogs. Is that why you're like looking at the dog like, you freeloader?
Yeah.
I had to work for this flight, god damn it.
Yeah.
And all you had to do is make those fucking goo-goo eyes.
Yeah.
So it turns out one of the studies that's been fueling all of the turmoil over the vaping lately has been completely discredited. The one published by no less the American Heart Association, shocking. I mean, this is the organization that's like, bacon's bad. No, bacon's not so bad. No, bacon might be good. Don't have coffee. Or no, wait, double down on the coffee. No, actually, just drink as much coffee as you were drinking before. That's probably what's best for your heart.
Hey, you know what? No eggs. Hey, you know what?
Eggs.
Never mind eggs. No, wait. No, just the
3A.
white parts of eggs.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Separate out the colors.
Never mind. You should just eat the whole egg again.
Right? Oh, actually, it's worse if you just eat the whites. So just eat the yellows then. No, mix it up. The scrambled. No, you know what? Over medium,
Yeah.
with just enough yolk to get the toasts, wet on the end. Just a little bit.
You start realizing your dad is in charge of the American Heart Association.
They had a paper that claimed that vaping could lead to a heart attack.
And let me guess.
And this was just one study, and once they went through the process of peer review, turned out to be not credible.
Well, what are they doing
and too
publishing
small.
this before it's even gone through that?
Well, look, no, hold on.
Have everything we taught
Publishing.
in school
No.
just gone to shit?
They are scientists. They publish papers to share information. That's their job.
But aren't they not supposed to publish until
No.
it's been peer-reviewed?
The publishing problem is not on the scientists. It's on the journalists. They are not journalists. They are scientists that are reporting on results of a study that they oversaw.
So the journalists shouldn't be publishing it until it's been peer-reviewed.
That's the difference. The publishing of a scientific paper is to share information with other scientists, and that's not every paper is going to be right. A scientific study is saying, hey, this is weird. We just did this, and this happened. And then other people would go, oh, yeah, let's do this and see if it turns out the same thing happened. Or, yeah, that didn't happen for us. And then, hopefully you compare notes and figure out where you differ. That is the scientific process. Now, publishing, when it comes to what we end up reading, that's a completely different story. That's a journalist going, oh, we're looking for pieces on vaping and how it could negatively affect people's health. So here's a study.
Yeah.
Here's one thing. It's not a scientific result. It's not a theory. It's not a bunch of scientists coming up and saying, it's not 9 out of 10 dentists.
True.
And
a lot of times,
sometimes this shit just isn't wrong because there's variables that they're not accounting for, and that's why we have that process.
Well, and also too, a lot of times too, they'll run with it, and even they go with the big salacious headline, and a lot of times you have to break down. Like a lot of times in these things, it'll say might or may. Or it may cause, or might happen.
It'll either get murkier, or it'll get into details that you're not a scientist. So I'm like, I don't know what they're really talking about. Yeah. And if you really dig into it, it was like, oh well, they took 8 gerbils and 5 of them got cancer, and I don't know. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, let me know when it's 5 out of 8 humans. Then I'm listening.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
And this relates to weed as well, because there was a study this week. There was a study that they did recently with rats. They got together groups of grats. Is that what I said?
Yes.
Yeah. Grads and dads. They got some rats, right?
Yes.
And they gave different rats different levels of THC. The highest of which was, they said, your average dose for somebody who does this on a daily basis. And they bred them with other rats and then studied the brain development of that second generation of rats. And what they saw with the rats that got the higher doses of THC is...
Smartest rats ever?
No.
Oh.
I'm afraid not. What they saw in these rats is, I don't know how, lower test rates. I don't know. They got through the maze slower. However you measure the intelligence of a baby rat, they were saying they were kind of dunces. And they think that, I think the scientific explanation is the weed done fucked up their sperm and made them all crooked and shit. And it made retarded babies.
Retarded baby rats?
Yes. That's the gist of the paper. I don't have it in front of me.
So if I had a baby, it would be dumb? Because I smoked a bunch of weed?
No, so yeah, they found lower cognitive ability in the baby rats that came from the fathers. Mind you, they weren't giving any THC to the mothers. So these rats were not being introduced to THC at any point in their development. Only through their dad's broke-ass sperm was it affecting them. What they're saying is there's THC in rats, what they're theorizing, that has the ability to turn on and off certain genes. So that rat study gets reported by ABC News, Eyewitness News at 11, as Duke study shows father's marijuana use could affect child brain development through sperm changes.
Wait, what? That's what they got from that?
Yes.
Wow.
Not rats. They say it specifically shows father's marijuana use.
What has happened to journalism? That is a lot of conclusions they jump to off of fucking rats.
Right. Yeah. They have I'm sure that they did this study totally scientifically, but again, it's just a small study with just rats. We don't know if this applies to humans and in what way. I mean, they already have to make adjustments for rats are similar to humans in certain ways, but they metabolize things a lot faster. So they were giving what they figured to be the equivalent amount for a male to consume in one day, adjusted for size as well, but also having to adjust for metabolism. And they wanted to make sure that the THC was actually affecting the sperm so that it had to stay in the system for a longer time. Now, if you've ever heard
of this rat,
right? They had to because they metabolize so fast. They wanted to make sure. I think they basically do it by time. You figure, it takes a male this long to metabolize this much THC, right? So we have to give that much to the rat. Only that's going to make that rat pretty fucked up.
Yeah, rats like, hey man, turn on the Pink Floyd.
Right, they didn't even have to mark them. They were just like, which ones do I get the THC? The ones with the dreads.
The ones with the Jerry Bears. The rats who only want to listen to Primus. Those are the rats.
So, anyway, I thought there was another point that I was getting at with the rat study. But what I really wanted to get to was a study that seems to contradict this. And lo and behold, it's not even on rats. This is an actual study on humans. Researchers looked at twins, one of whom began using cannabis in adolescence, and the other who doesn't smoke, and found that both their IQs dropped over the years at the same pace. Suck it.
So, just idiots. Yes. Just regular idiots.
That's right. I may be getting dumber off this shit, but you're getting dumber off of other shit, right?
Yeah. This bud's for you.
No, I don't. Like, to be frank, and we've had this conversation many times, but if I really thought this shit was making me dumber, would I still do it? I mean, then again, who knows? Right? It's kind of like the slow boiling pot that gets the frog. Right? As your brain gets dumber, you just understand less and less. And so you make dumber decisions, like continuing to do the thing that makes you dumb. But again, I would point to, I don't know, history. But that's the first thing I thought of is like, could they be onto something here with this rat study? Maybe. But is this a problem that's really affecting our nation? Well, we do have Trump, but I don't know if we can blame that solely on everybody's dad smoking weed. Knowing not only how popular cannabis is now, but also understanding that, having been around the block, I look at these numbers not as like weed's booming popularity, more as weed is becoming so mainstream that people are finally admitting it.
Yeah.
You polled 55% of adults that say that they use cannabis more than once a week. Great.
There's not a stigma that comes with it
It's probably
anymore.
always been that.
Yeah.
It was always that portion of whatever group of people you're looking at that were smoking weed. They're just now admitting it.
It's like the people who voted for Trump the first time. They're just now admitting it.
Exactly. So 2 people is not a study, right? Even if they are twins.
Yeah.
This isn't scientific evidence. That's not how you prove it. You don't go, well, does smoking cause cancer? And I go out and find one person who smoked their whole life and has no cancer and another person who smoked their whole life and does have cancer. I've proved absolutely nothing except for I'm good at finding smokers.
I'm good at writing up studies.
Yeah. But this would certainly be an indicator. So if I was looking to, let's say what my next study is going to be, where am I going to go next if I'm studying the effects of cannabis on humans? I would look at this information and go, this tells me something. This gives me a direction to point in.
There's definitely good control. It's like the same genetic makeup, literally.
Yep. Although that doesn't totally disprove what the rat study found either, because it would come from the same sperm, right? So the deciding factor would not be the individual's cannabis use, but the actual previous generation's cannabis use that would more direct, according to the rat study, that would determine the IQ. And so their IQs being similar, but their drug use being different would be negligible.
Well, now we have to
because
see.
they both got their daddy's crooked sperm.
Well, you said one of them is a stoner and one of them isn't?
Yes.
Now we got to study their kids if we're going to continue the study, right?
Right. Exactly.
Will the one kid have kids that aren't dumbasses and the one kid will?
Right. And, well, we joke, and I don't think that these twins are dumbasses. I mean, people's IQs just decline. They just do.
Yeah.
People get dumber. Well, Trump actually had something to say this week about weed.
Oh, boy.
We're not Trump himself. His campaign manager? No. Strategic Communications Director.
Racist McShootface?
His name's Mark Lauder. I don't know. You don't know that he's racist just because he works for Trump.
That's a callback to a George Zimmerman joke from like 4 or 5 years ago.
Just like not all Nazis believed that Jews were bad. Some of them just wanted a job, right?
Right. Sure.
And Mark Lauder, he doesn't hate Mexicans.
But he's got a mortgage.
Right. So he'll sell his soul. I guess he was asked in an interview recently. Mark Lauder was, not Trump.
And who's Mark Lauder? What's his position?
Director of Strategic Communications for Trump's 2020 campaign.
Okay, just say campaign director.
I will do that next time.
No, I'm not
That's what
saying
it says.
No, I know. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying them. Like,
this is what he says.
That's a goddamn mouthful.
I think the president is looking at this from a standpoint of a parent. Yeah. You already lost me.
What, like the cool swinging dad who you only see on the weekends?
No, he says, I think the president is looking at this from a standpoint of a parent of a young person, to make sure we keep our kids away from drugs. So you lost me at Trump thinking like a parent.
Yeah.
Really. Have you met this person?
He wants to fuck his daughter.
Do you think that's his primary objective, or his kids?
Maybe banging Ivanka.
They need to be kept illegal. That is the federal policy. There's three sentences, none of which make any sense.
It's for the base. It's for the America people.
They need to be kept illegal. Okay, so how exactly does this work again, where we make something illegal but that means our kids don't get it? How does that work again? Because it doesn't seem to.
That's for like the rural housewives in
isn't
Missouri.
Isn't this the version of reverse psychology that we figured out years ago? The more you try and keep somebody away from something, the more they're just going to covet it.
Yeah.
The drugs, the booze, the sex. And the reverse isn't true either, right? Legalizing it isn't your answer to teen use, and neither is making it illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the status of marijuana as legal or illegal has absolutely nothing to do with teen use. That's all parenting, right?
Mm-hmm. I've just kind of.
I don't want to get into a whole other governmental discussion like we were, like the JAG I was on earlier. But that's another thing that bothers me, is these fuzzy lines of, are we going to have laws that make the parents responsible for the kids, or are we going to make the kids directly responsible? Well, it depends. Depends on what? Well, how was it violent, or was it really severe, or was it a hate crime, or was it blah blah blah? Either you are going to say that until you're 18, you're under the care of your parents and they take responsibility for you legally and otherwise in all aspects, or you don't. It should be the same with cannabis. You shouldn't look, if you don't want kids to smoke until they're 21, okay, that's the law. We can all agree on that. I guess. But make the parents responsible.
One side wants to be mom, one side wants to be dad. I've come to terms with this.
Don't go and ticket the guy that got handed the fake ID. Ticket the parent whose kids are out getting fake IDs and buying cigarettes.
Liberals will kick you out for talking like that, Aaron.
And
you won't be allowed to come to the blue party.
Certainly don't make decisions based on what reasonable adults choose to do in their own time, whether we can or cannot enjoy that because of what somebody else's kids that we're not supposed to be responsible for are doing. That's some punish the whole class bullshit. What are we in, fucking boot camp?
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy can't handle his shit, we all got to make another lap.
And then you're not allowed to come to the red party talking like that. How dare you?
He goes on
both sides of an issue. You can't do that in 2020.
I think the president has been pretty clear on his views on marijuana at the federal level. Wow. See, another sentence that makes absolutely no sense in context.
Because he has not.
He's been how has he been clear in any respect on cannabis?
He has been very murky. He has been very ambiguous.
Yeah, this is Trump on cannabis. I hear really great things about it. It might be curing cancer. I hear that it's making kids crazy. I hear that the states should be deciding. I hear that the federal government should step in and make a decision. He said absolutely fucking everything on cannabis. Yeah. Every stance that you could take on cannabis, he has taken it.
He talks about, generally what happens is he talks about it for 5 seconds and then he pivots onto something else.
The only thing consistent on his stance on cannabis is it's never the same twice.
Yeah. Because I really think personally, he probably doesn't give a shit. That's probably why. That's probably one of the things on his personal radar that he gives no fucks about.
Yes. He does wrap up this quote in the Chicago Tribune with, I know many states have taken a different path. I wanted to include that in because just to prove to you that he can say something without lying or sounding insane. That was an actual just plain fact of just truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No stating what is going on.
Just noting that. So whoever is, this dude who's Lotter, who's his campaign director, in that single quote is batting what? Like 1 out of 6 statements being anywhere near the truth. Not just like you could look at it from different ways. Like if you know anything about what this guy is talking about, you know he's insane. Nobody fucking believes that Trump's a family man. Nobody believes that he's got a firm stance on marijuana.
What do you mean? Does it go to church every Sunday?
And I don't know, there's some other shit that happened this week. I guess Alabama is moving forward on medical marijuana.
Hey, slow down.
Yep. New Mexico is not looking good for their recreational marijuana, I guess. It's surprising. Because I bet New Mexico is going to have a pretty high voter turnout for 2020.
Where's Gary when we need him?
And some other shit that I won't get to because I ran it too much this week. But there was a story about somewhere in wherever Racine Park,
Chicago.
Is that in Chicago? It's a story about 2 being charged in the men's room after they were vaping marijuana in there. So that's double. They're on double secret probation.
Vape? How do you know?
One for the vape and 2 for the THC. Well, they tested. Yeah, that's what I said too. How did they know? And then I went on to read a story about this fucking sting operation that they've got on 16-year-olds getting fucking high in the bathroom. I'm sorry, 17 and 18-year-old. One faces count of possession with intent to deliver and distribute. Prosecutor said they were out on $300 bail.
Is this?
Oh, other one, 17-year-old faces misdemeanor disorderly conduct. Well, that's not so bad.
Is this the new busting kids for drinking beer?
They're talking about how they found the one kid and they confiscated his stuff. He had a couple of these, vape cartridges on him. And they also found some Adderall in the bathroom, which could have been anyone's, honestly. Or Focalin, that's what it was. They get his text messages and find out that, he's supposed to meet the other kid there, and there's some other kids that are involved in this, and they have the cartridges tested to make sure that they're actual THC.
Is this the new busting kids drinking beers in the park? Is this the news? Is this where this goes now?
No, what I'm describing is like fucking 21 Jump Street. These are teenagers in high school, and they're getting their phone records and getting shit tested, and Like, what the fuck are you doing with your time?
Is this in a state where this shit's legal?
Well, it's not legal for teens to do it.
Yeah, but still. But isn't this essentially like catching an 18-year-old with a beer? Why are we going through their phone?
The search revealed that they were to meet up in the bathroom on February 13th, and 2 THC vape cartridges were purchased for $60 at the time.
So they can
the
argue
cartridges
it's drug dealing.
recovered in the restroom tested positive for marijuana. The complainant said when investigators caught up with Thurman, they found him with 2 vape cartridges and 2 marijuana oil canisters, which also tested positive for marijuana. They go on to describe there's messages from Johnny, identified as a certain Johnny Salinas. This is a fucking bust. Somebody's going to get a promotion off of this one, right? You're going to lock up. Oh, you finally got Johnny Salinas, the scourge of the Racine Police Department.
Yeah, this
My
seems kind
God. There was there was any sort of investigation, and not just like, hey, you two are suspended. Or fuck it. I mean, look, kids are dealing drugs in your school, expel them. But the police are involved?
Yeah, why did we waste tax dollars?
This goes back to my earlier rant. The police should be showing up at the parents' house going, what the fuck are your kids doing? You're sending them off to school. You know they're selling drugs? You know they're getting high in the bathroom when they should be in class? Out on $300 fucking bail. That's criminal. Locking kids up over this shit.
Oh, this is Wisconsin.
This is insane. Right, so they don't have a legal... They have a medical program, don't they? Either way, medical or legal, that's not the point. They were minors. I know it's illegal for them to do it, but selling vape cartridges, that's what should keep you out of college, right?
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
That's what you should put on a teenager's record. Or an 18-year-old. I mean, look, okay, an 18-year-old man, that's a fair point. There's a lot of 18-year-olds that go to school, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, for 2.5 months, I was an 18-year-old that went to school.
We got to get this guy's phone records. Like, somebody had to say that, right?
Well, I was reading this story. The one guy apparently jumped bail. So this is more than a little bit of...
I know that there's other shit going on here.
No, but I agree with you. It's 2 vape cartridges, requesting phone records. Yes, we are in the realm of ridiculous. Like, this police department looking for shit to do. Not a lot of crime.
There must not
in this city.
Must be some real stories going on, huh?
I'm all high and watching you push buttons.
Whenever you want to start.
It's time to go, kids. At the Weezer 420 on Twitter, Weezer Podcast on Instagram, the Weezerman Podcast at ChristopherMedia.net. If you want to email us, we are on all the platforms, pretty much. Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, that's still a thing. Apple Podcasts, ChristopherMedia.net. You get a podcast. We're there. Stitcher, even still there, doing its thing. Here's turning a lot of knobs. Something to say, stay high.
We're doing the dub mix tonight.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh yeah, stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the name your price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Me, but also you. The Pharaoh fast forwards his favorite foreign film, Powder Donut. Okay, what's my line?
The only line I see here on the script is get options based on your budget with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive.
Oh man, that's a tongue twister, huh? I'm sorry, I'm gonna need a few more minutes. Bulbous Walrus, the Bulbous Walrus.
The Name Your Price tool, only from Progressive.
The owl ran afoul of the comatose coxswain.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
ChristopherMedia.net. If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.